Welcome to this video, which is an introduction to slope. Let's begin. Studies have shown that if you connect new information to existing information that you already have in your brain, then you are more likely to retain it. So I invite you to pause this video, take a few minutes, and brainstorm some real-world examples that are meaningful to you of slope. For example, you might think of a mountain. If you were going to go hiking on some mountains, they are definitely sloped. If you were going up them, you would be climbing up a mountain. That would be a positive slope. And if you're going down, that would be a negative slope. So again, pause the video and think of as many different examples as you can of slope. Okay, so let's keep going. Did you think of any more examples of slope? I'll leave that blank so that you can have your own thoughts there. So let's get into some mathematical definitions of slope. You may know or remember that the letter M is usually used to represent slope. Some people hypothesize that this comes from the French word monter, which means to climb. So if you have trouble remembering that M represents slope, just think of M standing for a mountain that you would climb. So, what is slope? Well, one definition of slope is that it is the change in the y values divided by the change in the x values. Now, math people are notoriously lazy when it comes to writing words out. So sometimes you might see this cute little triangle symbol, and this is actually the Greek letter delta. And it is used to symbolize the phrase change in. So it's the change in y over the change in x. You might have also heard slope being referred to as rise over run. And there's also our slope formula, which we'll get to in a subsequent video, which is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So all of those are definitions of slope that we will be using throughout this series of videos. So as mentioned, if we are going uphill for our mountain, then we consider that a positive slope. If we are going downhill, we consider that a negative slope. If we have a flat horizontal surface, we say that that's zero slope. And the way that I remember this is very simple, is that you can drive on a flat road, right? You can run on it, you can jog on it, right? You're fine running along a horizontal slope. In fact, it's easier to run or walk along a flat surface than it is uphill or downhill, right? There's no slope. However, what if you try to walk up a vertical slope? This is not a road, right? This is what most people would call a cliff. And you can't drive up it, right? Cars don't go up straight vertical cliffs. You can't run up it. You could maybe climb up it if you had some rock climbing equipment, right? So that's how I remember that a vertical line is undefined, because it's not possible, again, to climb or to drive up a vertical wall. So our four possibilities when we're talking about slope is that we could have a positive slope when we're going uphill, a negative slope when we're going downhill. We could have no slope if we're looking at a horizontal line. Another way to remember this, by the way, is to think of the horizon, which is where the earth meets the sky, like in a little kid's painting, right? We call this line the horizon. Okay, and then we could also have an undefined slope if we have a vertical line. So let's practice drawing some of these possibilities. So if you want, again, you can pause this video and sketch these on your own, and then unpause the video and make sure you were correct. So first I'm going to draw a vertical line. I could place it anywhere I want to on this graph. I'll just put it right here. Then I'm going to draw a horizontal line. Okay, I'm going to draw a line that is slanted upwards, or that has positive slope. Note that when we do this, we always go from left to right. We're always going in, we're always going in this direction. From left to right, from left to right. Okay, and so a line that is slanted downwards, again, we're looking at it as we move from left to right. So from left to right, this is going up. From left to right, this is going down.
Hi everyone, I want to show you this really cute memory technique called Mr. Slope. So, to draw Mr. Slope, right, first we give him two eyes. So one of his eyes is a plus sign and one of them is a minus sign. Okay, so his eyes need eyebrows. So his his left eyebrow is going up, right, and that reminds us that a line that goes up as we move from left to right has a positive slope. Let me see if I can redraw his left eye a little bit better. Okay, and then his right eyebrow going down reminds us that lines that go down as we move from left to right have a negative slope. All right, so now poor Mr. Slope, he needs a nose, right? So we give him a vertical line for a nose, and this reminds us that vertical lines are undefined. So the bottom of his nose is a U to remind us that vertical lines are undefined. Okay, so then, last but not least, Mr. Slope needs a mouth. So we draw a horizontal line, like so, and we put little dimples on either side of his mouth, which look like zeros, right? So that reminds us that a horizontal line has a slope of 0. And that's it. That's Mr. Slope.
So again, I would really encourage you to pause this video and jot down on a piece of paper your answers before you watch mine. So what we're going to do is for each of these graphs, we're either going to put a plus sign if it's a positive slope, put a minus sign if it's a negative slope, put 0 if it has 0 slope, or the fourth possibility is that we would write undefined if it has an undefined slope. So pause this video, do that, and then unpause it and see if you are correct. So the first one has a positive slope. Again, we always look from left to right. If I'm a person going from left to right, I would be going uphill. The second graph is undefined because it's a vertical line. Again, if I'm a little person trying to walk up this cliff and I don't have any climbing equipment, I'm out of luck. Can't do it. Okay, this one, if I'm walking along here, just a little person, right, this is super easy. It's a flat road, so it has a 0 slope. This graph right here, if we're moving from left to right, I'm walking or running or riding downhill, so it would have a negative slope. This guy right here has a positive slope. And this here, again, if you use your imagination and pretend that you're trying to somehow scale this wall, that's kind of impossible to do, again, unless you're Batman or unless you have some climbing equipment. So we say the slope is undefined. Let's do a few more examples. So again, pause the video, write down your answers, and then unpause the video and see if you are correct. Who you said that this has 0 slope, this has negative slope, and this has negative slope.